Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet Brain Fog, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a couple weeks since I've been here. I am prepared with a little bit of a drink on the side here. Um, Family been trying to get over some kind of a respiratory infection. Could not have been here last week if I wanted to, and I really did want to, but it would have been very distracting for everybody. So this week I've been playing kind of a nurse to my husband who's been home all week with the same thing. So it's really bad out there. So do be careful. Excuse me. Do be careful while you're out there. And thank you so much for your prayers and your concerns and your well wishes for me. I so appreciate that. That really did help me quite a bit to get through. It's been a we're in a very busy season right now. Um, a week from today will be my son's wedding rehearsal dinner, and then the wedding the day after on the 15th of February. So we've got a lot going on. I'm going to be having a lot of people coming into town. Um, Probably later next week. So if you don't hear from me when you send in your questions and your requests and whatnot on various pattern things, if you don't hear from me this week, I just please don't take offense at that. I will have it to get to eventually. Um, we just need to get through this next coming week, which is going to be wonderful, wonderful celebration. And if you follow me on social media, you've noticed I've been baking a lot. So I do have the wedding cake. Yeah, we are making the wedding cake. It's something I like to do. I like to dabble in yarn. I love to dabble in sugar. It's been a long time since I've done this. I think the last time I did this was my daughter's wedding cake when Becky got married, and that's 6 years ago, I believe. So yeah, it's been a busy week. But the good news is the cake has the crumb layer, if you know what that means, the crumb layer of icing, and it are all the layers are wrapped and in the freezer. So I will put the final layer on a week from today. So I should probably go ahead and cancel Friday Fun. Let me think about this. I'm going to think about it. I may not cancel next week. I may try to go live on Thursday. We'll see what happens. So if you could just follow, I will let you know what I'm going to do next week. It really depends on how many people are in the house and how things are going, because it might be kind of fun to go live with some of the folks that are coming into town that you would know. But I'm just going to put that on hold. I didn't even think about that until I went live just now. Um, so yeah, next Friday is going to be busy. So we're just going to put that on pause. If I do go live next week, it'll probably be on a Thursday. But again, I'll let you know what I'm going to do because the schedule could just really get busied up at the last minute. So anyway, enough of the business. I want to go ahead and say hey to folks in the chat. And Brat's mom, I have something for you since you are the first person in the chat. If you don't get Crochet World, let me cover this up so I don't want my address going out there. If you don't get Crochet World magazine, let me know and I'll be happy to send you a copy. I ended up with 2 copies. They send me one for my subscription and one because I'm a Crochet Guild member. So I would love to pass that along to you if you're interested. If not, please let me know and I will give that away to somebody else. Just all you got to do is say, yes, I want it. And then just send me your address because I do not keep those when you all send them to me. Excuse me. All right. Well, anyway, Brat's mom says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, Becky, and all my dear yarnies from cold and blustery Southwest Chicago suburbs. Burr. We've actually had a little bit of a reprieve here, Linda, but I hope you can stay warm there. And this thanks as a reminder of smashing that thumbs up button. And I read it. Thank you, Linda. On the correction there. Yeah, don't worry about that. I don't know how many times I've typed messages and things to people, and then as I hit go, hit send, the AI or the computer will do something and it'll correct it when they actually add mistakes to it. So, yeah. Anyway, the world that we live in now. Anyway, we love to craft. It's great to see you in the chat. And Marie, so good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Um, Getting over all that snow you all got down there in South Carolina just a couple weeks ago. Um, excuse me again. And Kelly, so glad you found us. She says, my sister and I are going to the Dominican Republic on April 6th. Wow, through the 12th this year. We'll have a wonderful time and be safe as you travel. That sounds like a fun trip. I've never been to the Dominican Republic. And thanks for the smashing the button reminder again to Kelly. And Donna, welcome to you. She says, peace, my sister in Christ. How are you and your family? Yes, we're getting better. We're getting better. We're doing what we can. Just hoping my husband is up for the wedding coming up soon. It's like I said, it's been a tough go with this latest pass of viral whatever this is. And see, Warren, welcome. Good morning to you. And Phil, so glad that you could join us. So he says, good morning from sunny, pleasant central Utah, 49 degrees here. Ooh, that's practically tropical, isn't it? Wow. I hope you're staying safe out there with all that traffic and driving that tractor trailer of yours. And again, thank you for serving us in that way, and all those who are out there driving. Thank you. I know what you do is difficult but so necessary for the way we live. I'm sorry, guys. Angie, good morning to you. And Holly loves crochet. Hello, glad you could join us. And Linda and Susie Pop's Creations. Glad to have you here. Let me see. Hannah's sending me a text. Let's see what she says. Okay. Jet One In has a prayer request that Hannah just sent me. Yes. Okay. We will keep that in mind. About the unspoken prayer. Got it. Noted. Yeah, Hannah just commented to me too about she had an opportunity to go somewhere this weekend, but decided that she's not going to because she just doesn't want to, I guess, be exposed to stuff. Yeah, well, it's really hard to say, because you also have to consider your mental health. You don't want to be, locked down all the time either. So, yeah. And DL Crisp is in the chat. It says, I love the lap gan you did with Tiffany. As a watch subscriber, I can download your sections of the pattern. But if I want Tiffany's part, the sections must be purchased. No, that's actually no. There are two different ways to get that from Tiffany. Okay. If you go to her website, I don't have the link right now, but the pattern is available for free on her website. There's been some confusion over that, and let's go ahead and talk about it because some people were downright angry about this. And there were some accusations, but I won't get into all of that. This is the design that we're talking about. Okay, this is the Navigator's lap gan. And this past week, 2 of the panels were released. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was these 2. I know it was the arrow pattern. The next coming week, the wavy pattern, this was going to be on my channel. And then this is the other pattern, that the texturized pattern that Tiffany is releasing. Now, you can purchase the pattern, her part, from her, but you can also see it on her website for free and copy it from there, or download it from there. It's really what you prefer to do. So if you're having trouble reaching that, just let me know. I will try to put another thing in the watch channel so that you can get that. This was supposed to be a free pattern from beginning to end, and it is. Um, the only way that you can get this pattern from me is off of my website. I am not going to be selling this, at least not right now. So this is the Navigator's Lapgan. You can see the trim, and then the third week we're going to cover the trim on this, and also well, first of all, how to put it together. Tiffany's going to cover that, or you can just put the panels together however you wish. And then I'm going to be covering how to work the perimeter rounds. So and just getting back to DL Crisp's question, if I put a link in there that was only the paid pattern, I just ask your forgiveness. I'm also dealing with some brain fog this week. Um, and it was really, really hard to get that out for a Saturday release because I was still fighting this bug, and things just were not clear up here. So I just beg your indulgences there that I will get the pattern to you guys. I will have a link when I will put that in the next video. So you need to look in the link in the video in the watch channel. Now on YouTube, I will also have the link for Tiffany's website. If you go to the Navigator Lapgan for the first, which is the arrow panel, all that information you need to get to her videos is there, as well as how to download the free pattern. Or at least when I click on it, I get just her website, and the pattern is available there for free. So do keep that in mind. I know a lot of designers out there will have a website version, which is a lot of them just have everything for free. I don't operate that way. I work too hard to just give everything for free, because I kind of think it sets up an expectation that everything that we do should be free for everybody. And while that's admirable, if you can do that, I have this habit of wanting to live indoors in the wintertime and eating 3 meals a day, and it's just not a sustainable thing the way I do business. Okay. And I think you all understand that. And certainly the cost of a pattern, which is usually less than a fast food meal, and actually less, or about really the less than sometimes a cup of coffee these days. So I don't really feel like I need to apologize for that. And you guys are the faithful, you know what I'm talking about. And you're not the ones I'm really talking to on that one. But anyway, but a lot of designers, and I think will have a free version in one place, and then they'll have another place where you can download it a little more streamlined, and it's for a small fee. Um, so if I gave you the wrong impression or the wrong link, I'm really sorry. I am going to try really hard to make sure that I put the correct link there. I know the correct link is there in the videos now. So anyway, it's like I said, it's been a long couple weeks here. It's been a long couple weeks. I don't want to belabor the thing about being sick, but it's still a reality, and we're working through it. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Hannah, for letting me know that. Uh, but anyway, the Navigator Lapcan is in full swing. I sorry for any confusion there. And yes, we are dedicating this to our military veterans, and really happy to do that. We were thinking that it would be a design that could be suitable for men or women, which is kind of why we didn't put the frilly things on that. And I was thinking more people in, let's say, veterans hospitals who are wheelchair bound, and there are a lot of people in that category. So that's why we made it the lap gan size. I remember an old friend of my mom's named Shirley. She was also a crocheter, and she used to crochet blankets all the time, lap gans, for many people at the veterans hospital. And that's where her husband actually was for many years, until he passed away. So yeah, I was thinking, thinking of the older generation as well, but this could really be for anybody. And you can change up the colors. You can go work on this using just yarn from your stash that you have left over. There's so many possibilities. Okay. And these are the yarn colors that I used. And all this information, of course, in detail is in the videos and in the on my blog post for the pattern. And if you're looking for paint box yarns, just to let you know, I checked before going live. If you buy individual um, balls of yarn, they're actually 30% off right now. If you buy it in packs of 5 or 10, that doesn't mean, go to the individual ones, but you have to find the link that has the groups of 5, 5 packs or the 10 packs. They're actually 35% off. And if you order, I believe it's $65 worth of anything from their site at Lovecrafts, they will ship it to you for free. So just to let you know, it's a good way to get yarn that you want the dye lots to match. Instead of going from store to store to store trying to find that and piecemeal it. And believe me, I've done that many times for years. That's how I got the yarn for my throws, is just trying to find 10 or 12 skeins that are all the same is really, really hard, because a lot of the stores aren't really carrying that much stock, or at least not in my area. So, excuse me. This is the yarn that we use, but feel free to use whatever you have available to you locally. Feel free to use your favorite yarns. You don't have to just use the yarn that I use, okay? And I think you all know that. I do not sell yarn for a living. I recommend, because these are available. And I do have a link. It's an affiliate link. I have no apologies for that. It doesn't cost you any more. I get a little bit of credit if you purchase, but I do that not because of an affiliate link, but because I really do like this yarn. I love the color palette. I love the availability, and that it doesn't have a lot of knots in it. I love that. Okay, Hannah's sending me a question from Bonnie Thornton. Says, since I'm new to crocheting, does anyone have any suggestions as to what brand of needle to use, or are they all the same? Thank you for any information. That's a great question, Bonnie. No, they're not all the same. In fact, this is not a sponsor. I am not being paid to say what I'm about to say. These are excellent hooks. These are, let me see if I can, well, I'll just pull one of these out. These obviously have a handle. These are called the soft ergonomic. They're hard though. They're not real squishy or anything. These are inline hooks. And here's another pack of inline hooks. And let me take the biggest one out and see if you can see, if the camera will, if you can see how the neck, that this is inline. Now, there are other hooks. Let me grab one of these. Okay, these are actually the same size. This is a different brand here. This is a boy hook, B-O-Y-E, and this is a tapered hook. Okay, it's gonna be hard to see, but this part of the neck gets thinner, where this one does not here. Okay, I'm trying to get this. So these are they're different. They are different. So I prefer these personally. Now there are other people who will say just as strongly, I prefer this kind of a hook. I kind of like to compare crochet hooks kind of like to shoes. Like people prefer certain types of shoes over others, and there are people on both sides who they just have a particular preference. I'm very strong with having a preference towards inline hooks, particularly this type of brand. These are readily available, inexpensive by comparison. I mean, some hook companies will sell you a hook for over $60, over $100. I mean, there are a lot of ways to spend your money when it comes to the crafts. That it's not necessary. I would prefer if you could get these. I think these fit better in the hand. These are available at Joann's. Sometimes Michael's has these as well. So, and if you can, get your coupon and buy the whole set because you're going to need more than one hook if you crochet for any length of time. And you'll learn about all the whys and what fors as you go along. I do have a video on my channel that talks about which is the fastest crochet hook. And if you want to take a look at that, it's not just about speed, it's about other things as well. And one thing to be careful about is depending on which hook you use, you're going to get a different gauge with your crocheting. And what that means is how many stitches, uh, let's say you can crochet 13 stitches in 4 inches using a size K hook. Well, that might vary a little bit how many stitches you get per inch with a different type of hook. So I do talk about that in the video as well. So yeah, the type of hook does matter. I think the inline hooks by Susan Bates, I think they hook the yarn better. But again, that's purely my opinion, and that's based on only my experience. So you may even want to pick up one of each. But those are basically the two basic style of hooks, and there are a lot of other brands out there. So I just submit that to you. Hopefully that will answer your question, Bonnie. All right. Let me go ahead and get through some more greetings here. Um, but DL Chris, thanks again for saying something about that because other people I'm sure were confused about that. The pattern is for free on her website. I guarantee it. If you can't find it, email me, bonniebay@me.com. I will send you the link so that it'll get you right there. Um, oh, thank you, Najla. I'm doing fine. Um, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Just trying to, just trying to get like the last 15% of this kind of worked out. It's it's not quite totally let go yet, but doing so much better. I mean, last week I didn't even feel like crocheting and I didn't crochet for days. So if that tells you anything, that knows that things are really bad when you don't crochet. Hannah wants to know the name of my scarf. This is the Sapphire Soliloquy scarf made up with gradient yarn, and this is on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. I'm using yarns that these are, this is a fingering weight yarn. I think it's 75% merino, 15% nylon, maybe. It's sock yarn, number one weight fingering. And it's by a company called Frogget Yarns. I just tell you that because that's where I purchased it. It was not a freebie to me in any way, shape, or form. But if you're looking for yarn like that, this was a lot of fun to work with. Of course, if you just want to use a solid color yarn all the way, that's totally fine. Um, I'm always looking for new yarns to experiment with so that I can share them with you and just kind of say yay or eh. I will be honest with you with what I use. Heather, so good to see you in the chat. She says, waiting another round of ice and snow tomorrow from here north of Baltimore. Great weather for crocheting. Oh dear. Well, Heather, you can pray for the wedding party and us because we're looking at the weather and we're expecting right on the cusp of either ice or snow throughout. They don't really know what next weekend's going to bring, but we could be fighting ice and snow for the wedding, which is glad it's indoors, but we do need to be able to make it to the venue and travel uh, from one place to another. So we hope we can do that. Excuse me again. And Samantha, glad that you could join us. And Which Way Crochet, welcome. So glad that you can join us too. And I got your unspoken prayer, Jet One in. We will be praying for you. And Crochet Done My Way, waving right back at you there. And Karen, good day to you. And Jane, glad that you can join us. And Infinitely Zero, Nessa, glad to have you here, my friend. And Susan AB, hello to you. And okay, great, great, Linda. She says she would love the magazine. Just send me your address and I will drop it in the mail the next day or two. And Extra, welcome, welcome. Um, and I just got a bunch of comments load at the same time. Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, and now Nodula had a question. Oh, let's see. Says it's been a while. I missed the live, so they are all new for me. Does Wanda Gordon? Is she still here? I think she does come every so often. I think she does. Yes. Um, and Lisa Fitzgerald says, "Hi, Bonnie. 3 rows from finishing the Christmas cabled throw. Beautiful blanket. Oh, please send me a picture, Lisa. I would love to share that with our friends online." Oh, uh, all right. So, all right, we got people chatting about things sent in the mail. I'm gonna maybe skip over some of that. And good morning to you, Carol. She says, "Good morning, all from Oregon." Carol Beth here. Excellent. Um, I miss Swati's comment. Swati says, "Happy Friday from LA. It's been rainy a little lately, and boy, did we need that." Oh, I know you did. I hope everyone is well. Yeah, I hope. Gosh, I know things were pretty bad there, and I know that's not going to go away anytime soon out there in LA. So glad you could join us, Swati. Glad that you're doing well. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. She says, "I'm 67 and recently started to learn how to crochet." Love your name, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you too. Did they sing My Bonnie Lives Over the Ocean to you when you were in elementary school? Oh, I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to crawl under my desk when people would do that to me. There were so many songs, childhood songs with my name in it growing up. Or at least where I was, that was just awful as a kid. I don't know, that just I sometimes I wish my name was anything but at growing up. Now it doesn't bother me, because I can sing right back at them and embarrass them even more. But back then I could not. Um, all right, I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Well, let me go ahead and excuse me, I have an announcement to make. Real excited about this one. Didn't know how it was going to go, but I did apply, and my classes were picked up at Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival for October 23rd through the 25th of this year. So I am really excited. This will be my first time, I guess, technically teaching internationally, aside from YouTube, of course. But I'm really excited to be able to get my passport and cross over into Prince Edward Island. If I'm saying Prince Edward's, is it Edward's Island? Prince Edward, I guess, Prince Edward Island, for the Fiber Festival. Really, really excited about that. I've never been. This is the part for those of you who are maybe geography challenged, like I can be at times. It's north of Maine into Canada. And this area was made famous by the books Anne of Green Gables, in case those of you remember reading those as a kid or maybe reading them. See, I didn't do a lot of reading as a kid, but I read them to my kids or read them with my kids. So love the story of that that wonderful gal, that redhead, just lots of spunk. Love the story. It's an endearing story. So anyway, so mark your calendars if you want to travel to Prince Edward Island with me, October 23rd through the 25th. As the time gets closer, I'll give more information about the classes that I'm offering there. Um, so anyway, yeah. And you can, I do have a link in my video description. You can take a look and see learn more about the festival. Of course, you're not going to see the classes and everything there right now, I don't think. I'll have to check that later. But you can learn about the area. It's going to be at the Delta Hotels, Prince Edward. That's 18 Queen Street in Charlottetown. Um, so that's the host hotel. I think it's a Marriott, but anyway. So big announcement. So I was really happy to hear about that. And just to be clear, in case you missed the last Friday fun, my classes were not picked up at Dallas Fort Worth. So I will not be going to Dallas this year, but I will be going to Prince Edward Island. I did submit classes for Pittsburgh. I'm still waiting. It'll be a little while before I hear back. I may know in a couple weeks whether my classes got picked up for Pittsburgh. But I'm hoping to do Pittsburgh, and if I do, it will be in August, the latter part of August. And again, the Prince Edward Island will be up in Canada, in Charlottetown, October 23rd through the 25th. And really looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fall colors out, and my husband and I, if we can, we're going to try to make the drive. We're just going to drive up through. It'd be the greatest time, I think, to drive up through New England and see all the leaves and everything. So really looking forward to that. And I hope to meet you all there. And I need to thank the person who recommended that I apply to that. I really appreciate their heads up on that. Oh wow. And so Kathleen has a prayer request. I will write this down in my prayer list once the show is not live. It says, prayers please for daughter Sarah. Last semester, bachelor's in nursing. Wow, that's tough. Raising 2 boys, single mom. Well, God bless her, Dana. That's amazing. Yes, we will definitely add her to the list, and we'll be praying for her. I will be anyway. And so Suzanne wants to know, do you have any plus size patterns in your online store or in your books? That's a good question. I think the Celtic Cable book has some of that. I think maybe through 3X, if I am correct. I try to size my sweaters for plus size as much as possible. Occasionally, there might be a design that just probably wouldn't work with larger sizes. In fact, I have some that I've made and I don't like the way they look on me. If it's a particular style, let's say shrugs, for example. I know some people love shrugs. I've tried them on. They look fantastic on my daughter-in-law. You're not going to catch me wearing a shrug. It's just, there's just some things that flatter certain body styles. I think there's a lot of great things out there, though, for plus sizes. My daughter-in-law, my future daughter-in-law, who's marrying my son, is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And she's a big girl, but she can rock some amazing styles. I put a picture recently wearing a poncho. I mean, she just rocked this thing. It just looks great on her. So yeah, I do have, I mean, a lot of the things like the ponchos and whatnot can fit a variety of sizes because it's not really that size specific. It really is a one size fits most. I know I did size the Colossae cardigan through size 5X, I believe. And because that's a very easy transition, you're just adding additional wattle stitches and whatnot to add sizing where needed. So yeah, I do have a lot. If you're looking for something specific, I would just say email me, bonniebay@me.com, and I'll see, what I could find for you. Okay. So Swati wants me to clarify the colors that were used on the blue Lapgan and the big green throw that was recently released. Okay, so I can clarify, although this information will be in the video description, I believe. So this is color number SA74. or I call it medium blue in the videos. The darker blue is SA68, and this is the champagne white, which is color number 202. I don't know why they put, on the websites, and a lot of yarn companies do this. They put the name on the website, but it would be great if they would put the name of the yarn on the ball of yarn too, but they only put the number. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to you on the green. Let me go ahead and show you what. Go ahead and show this one off. I haven't talked about it in a while. This is my Wild Irish throw, and I'm just going to show this much of it because it's the same. Well, it's the same repeated. I'll show you the end. It is trimmed in ribbing, and this features a triple twist cable in the center. Let me go ahead and look up the number, because I would need to look that up for you. Let's see if my computer will be nice and give me what I want. Yay, it's going to actually show me what I want. Let me see. So for the green throw, I use color number SA65. Okay, SA65 is the color of my Wild Irish throw. And if anyone there hasn't seen this, check it out. This is also on my YouTube channel. This is a larger throw than usual. I believe I used 24 or 22. I should look that up again. But anyway, let's see. Is it right there? No. Oh, anyway, the information is in the video description when you go. So this is my Wild Irish throw. This is an intermediate to advanced pattern. So if you've never done cabling before, I would suggest try something a little simpler, or work on stitch videos, because I would hate for you to start on something that just totally throws you for a loop, no pun intended, because I would want you to be encouraged and not discouraged with the crocheting of the cables and whatnot. All right, let's keep on going here. And thank you, Julie. She's wishing us a happy Friday. Get back to the chat. Way behind. Yeah. Could you read the names off the yarns? Okay. Of these? I don't have the name of the color, but let's see. Paint. There we go. Paint Box Simply Aran is the name of the yarn. And this is available from lovecrafts.com. See, Paint Box Simply Aran. Of course, if you want to make your throws with their wool yarn, they also have the Aran size. It's going to be a little more, well, it's going to be a lot more expensive. You can get the wool or the wool acrylic blends. They have cotton, and they have all kinds. And again, it is on sale, 30% off for one, and when you buy them individually. If you buy it in packs of 5 or packs of 10, it's 35% off the total cost. So that's a huge savings. Usually I think the best I've ever seen was 45% off, but that I think has passed. For a time it was at 35% off, which is pretty good. I'm always watching that because I always add to my stash when I can, even if I don't have an idea of what I want to do with it. I just thought I will get this color and I will have it in my stash ready to go. There's nothing worse than having an idea in your head you want to flesh out immediately, and then you have to wait 2 weeks or a week and a half to get the yarn. That's not my way of having fun. I like to just go right to the stash and start. Oh, thank you, Carol, for your care for Hannah and for Grandma. Appreciate that. Um, and thanks, Nodula, again for the thumbs up reminder. Um, yeah, and Rich Way Crochet says it's real bad right now. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Um, that's what happens wintertime. And Deanne Barry wants to know if I also knit. Yes, I do actually. I have a sweater I haven't worked on in a couple weeks, but I do knit. And if you're looking to learn how to knit, this is a great question. Thanks for sending that to me, Hannah. And okay, getting back to these yarns, this is worsted weight or number 4, not DK. It's worsted weight or Aran weight yarn. Okay, standard, just pretty standard. So, Deanne wants to know about knitting. I do have some beginning videos on my channel. If you go to the playlist and then look for the group that says beginning knitting, and with these beginning knitting classes, I'm really targeting crocheters who've wanted to learn because that was me for a long time. And I do teach the continental style. And that reminds me of a class that I'm going to offer again on my Zoom class. Last year I did this, it was very popular. I actually taught 2 different sessions of it. I'm just going to teach one session this time. I'm scheduling it for Tuesday, February 25th, from 2 to 4 p.m. And if you're a Watch Channel subscriber, you are welcome to join in. I will be sending the link as we get closer to the date. I'm just going to send it to everybody. You don't have to email me or any of that. But it's going to be beginning knitting for crocheters, and we're going to be using big, thick number 13 215, whichever number 13 size wooden knitting needles that are circular. And we're going to learn how to cast on. We're going to learn the purl. We're going to learn the knit. And we're probably going to learn much more than that. But that at least is the basic goal for what we're going to be doing during our Zoom time. And this is actually one of my favorite things to teach. I love the way crocheters who are experienced crocheters pick up on this so quickly. It doesn't have to be a mystery to us. If you're not a Watch Channel subscriber, you can become a Watch Channel subscriber. There is a link in the video description below. And on this channel, it is spam free, it's ad free, at least on my part of the channel. And there are many PDFs that you can download complimentary. Not every video has a free or complimentary download, because some of the things that I uploaded, just like here on YouTube, some of the patterns I don't own any longer, because back in the day when you would submit something to a publisher for a magazine or for a book or whatnot, you had to sign over your rights to your creations to them. And because of that, I don't have permission to give those away. But everything that I'm doing from this point onward, from the last few years onward, I do not sell my rights to anybody anymore. So I am free to give those as a complimentary thank you for your support on the channel. And there are many extras on the channel as well. Uh, and some of the Zoom classes are recorded so that you can, if you missed a class, you can go back and watch, us interacting over the material that is being taught. So this is a class that I did teach again last year, and it was very popular last year. So I'm offering it again. I know you can watch the replay on Watch Channel, but it's different when you're right there and you can ask your question in real time and I can try to answer the question. And so we go very slowly. We use very thick number 5 to 6 weight and thickness yarn, big knitting needles, so that we can see things come together quickly. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribing to the channel. If you don't like it, you can just go into your account and say goodbye. Um, If you subscribe from month to month, it's $7.95 a month. If you subscribe for the year, it's $79.50. So there is a little bit of a savings there. You save about $15, $16 for the year doing it that way. But yeah, so that's an option. You know, if you get tired of, I guess, all the videos, I'm not videos, the commercials and stuff, um, which is kind of the way things are, you can consider, checking that out. All right, enough of that. Not trying to not trying to be pushy on that, but and I don't sell your information to anybody. And let me also say one thing. Whether you go to my website, this is my bonniebaycrochet.com site, which is just my regular website, not the watch channel. If you go to my website or Tiffany's website for the pattern for the Lapgan, you're going to see something pop up there about cookies. And I know that can be confusing to people. Last year, I think it was at the beginning of 2024, the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, mandated that your website had to be updated to give you the choice of the cookies, which basically is a way for the people sites that you visit for them to get back in touch with you, to track you with what you want. So what you can do, that pops up on all websites that are certified and basically law abiding. So don't be afraid of that. And you can choose to reject all cookies, okay, when you go to those sites. And if you do that, then you don't have to worry about anybody bothering you, or they're not allowed to bother you at that point. Or you can accept the cookies. I mean, it's whatever you want to do, but I just want you to know that you have control over that. I just want you to feel safe. I want you to be safe, online. And certainly, if you have any questions regarding the website or the watch channel or any of that, please contact me directly. Watch. My email is the same, bonniebay@me.com. That's all you got to do. Contact me directly and I will help you as soon as I can. If you go through the channel, it's a Vimeo based product. If you go through Vimeo, it's going to take them a few days before they even get to you. And they're not going to be able to answer your questions. I will. So just come to me directly and I can help you with any of that. So anyway, I just wanted to be sure, in case anybody's wondering about, the cookies and all, don't be afraid of that. Just reject all cookies and then, continue to look for what you need. And for the record, I don't sell anybody's information anyway. I do have a newsletter where I can legally collect information, but you give me permission to do that there. That's on my first page of my website. If you decide to go for that, but just for the record, I don't ever sell that to anybody either. I cherish my privacy and I want to respect yours as well. So I hate that I have to even say that in this day and age, but there's a lot of bad actors out there. And so we have to do what we can to protect ourselves. All right. I apologize for being so late on on getting through this. Okay, and Charlene says, I'm coming in late. Hello, everyone. Love the blue blanket. My family has done well fighting this virus with vitamin C and lots of water. Mucinex has a create sugar-free cough drop that works good too. Okay. Yeah, I never missed a beat on, yeah, I take vitamins and vitamin C and eating my yogurt and all that good stuff. Protein drinks in the morning. This is just a really mean one. It just really a really mean bug going around, trying to do right, we just hope you can stay safe there. Charlene, thanks for the tips there. Um, and let's see. Yeah, Red Hooked is in the chat. Hey, says hello all from a sunny but cold Northeast Ohio. Ah, and Justina says, It says, my future project list keeps getting longer and longer. Yeah, I understand that. Mine do too. um, and Dorothy says, good morning from freezing South Dakota. And thanks, Kelly, for congratulating Linda on the magazine. And Gulf Coast Granny. Oh, I love that. Says, I just bought my first set of those hooks and I love them. Excellent. Yeah, they're good hooks. They're good and they're economically priced. I mean, there are other ones. Let me just show you these. I mean, I did a video on these recently. I guess it's been a month or two, and these are really nice too. And in fact, I have a couple of them in service. These are also inline hooks, and they have this beautiful walnut handle. But these are more like, I think, like a special gift if you really want someone to give you something really special, and you can, they're asking, and you can say, well, these are really nice, but honestly, these are just as good. So I mean, these are beautiful though. These are beautiful. I love the walnut. I am terrified of losing these. So I will say that. I will confess. And I love this little bag they come in. I mean, this is really, really nice. And it has a little zipper bag back here, and you can, put your scissors and all that. I mean, it's a really great thing. But you know what? I'm afraid to leave this. I'm afraid to take this out of the house. Um, I'm just not one of those that's used to having a lot of money invested into hooks. Um, Mostly because I have lost so many of these. And this is actually, these are both my spare emergency only hook supply. And I actually did lose one this past week. It was camouflaged on my carpet. And I looked and could not find it. And my son walks in the door and says, why is there a hook in the middle of the floor? And I honestly could not see it. And I was just very glad that he spotted it right away. Excuse me again. Um, Swati, if you want to email me, Swati, about the numbers, and I can look that up. I'm just reading what's on the back, and I can maybe look up an invoice on that. The wooden hooks are mellow. They're from a company called Knit Pro. Okay, I might have a link in the video description, but I do have a video on my channel where I'm actually evaluating them, giving you my opinion of them. So, and again, they're not cheap. It's about $100 for that set, which is, yeah, that's pretty steep. These are I think they're under 20. And if you get a coupon, you could probably get them for $15 for the whole set. So, I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for. And Wanda says, I want to make a bolero. Could I use the beginning of a triangle shawl to make the bolero? I would really need to know what you mean by bolero, because I know there are different ideas and shapes. So Wanda, I would suggest email me, bonniebay@me.com, and um, see, it just depends on what you're looking for when you say that. Because I get confused in my head too, because there are different designs out there. All right. Um, oh, thank you, Nodula. She's like telling Thornton if you can afford them, the Susan Bates are the top of the top. I think they are. Although, yeah, I agree. They do have. Do I have it here? They do have an interchangeable hook system though that I also evaluated, and I'll give you the skinny on that. I don't like it. I prefer to stick to whole hooks instead of this, you know, interchangeable stuff. Besides, they left for lunch when it came to design the beauty of that thing. It's awful. It's hideous. Anyway, yeah, I just said that. Um, so so Gulf Coast Granny says, I've been using Susan Bates hook. Let me try that again. I've been a Susan Bates hook user forever, but these ergonomic hooks are longer and just makes the hooks I've always loved even better. Yeah, that's what I think of these. And even the ones with the walnut handles are also very nice. I thought I might have a little more trouble with them, but I adapted to them very easily. And Justina says, yes, go with the ergo ones. Your future self will be happier. Yes. Yeah, and again, and if you guys like the boy hooks, that's fine. It's whatever your muscle memory gets used to at the beginning. That's usually what you stick with. My friend Jennifer Ryan, she absolutely loves the boy style hooks, and she has a harder time with the Susan Bates. So a lot of that is really muscle memory that you develop early on. But I think there are other reasons why the Susan Bates are a little bit nicer. But again, that it's a very, very strong opinion from me, and it's okay if you have a different strong opinion. It's just a hook. Um, and Phil says inline hooks tend to be better for working with yarn that tends to split. Yes, I believe that's true. Yeah, I don't like the rounded nose on the other hooks. I like the sharper nose on those. Um, and Love to Crafts says, coming in a bit late, no problem. And thank you, Kelly, for your prayers. I so appreciate that. And Justina says, I personally use the tapered. Absolutely fine, Justina. We do not, I don't like to divide people here. You know what I mean? That's why we don't talk about certain things like ever, because I feel like this is about the craft. And, like I said, if you started off with, if I had started off with the boy style hooks, I'd be talking to you all about the boy style hooks right now. But the people who taught me, put a Susan Bates inline hook in my hand, and that's just what I adapted to. So yeah, you are so welcome here. Don't ever be put off by an opinion, whether it's of yarn or any of that kind of stuff. Um, yeah. All right. So, and looks like Nessa likes the inline hooks as well. Yeah. And if you're not sure, you can always go back and forth. And I had a lot of fun with the video on finding the fastest hook, because I got to actually try out several other types of hooks that I hadn't used before. And I surprised myself that I actually liked hooks that I didn't think I would. So it just takes spending a little bit of time with them. The same with the walnut handled hooks. I didn't know if I'd be able to adapt to them. And I was like, wow, I really do like these. So yeah, and I maybe showing you some other ones in the near future as well. I'm still in dialogue with folks about that. Um, and Love to Craft says, enjoying the rain in Southern California. I'm so glad you guys are getting rain. As long as you don't get the mudslides, you'll be good. Um, yeah. Well, it is getting late. I really Oh, okay. This is about the hooks, the walnut hooks. Says those hooks are so gorgeous. The bag is so chic. They must be expensive. Yeah, no, they are. They are. They're in the ballpark of $100, give or take, depending on where you buy them. They're not for the faint of heart. And I thought I lost one of them, and it was not a comforting feeling. I will say that. And we have Nana's Kids in the chat says, I found your contemporary Celtic crochet book in my crochet book library and have fallen in love with the Celtic cross Afghan. So many beautiful patterns. Well, thank you so much for that. I just wanted to give you a heads up. That particular photo of that throw, they photographed it on the wrong side, not once, but twice. That's another reason why I do all my photography now going forward, and I do self-publishing, because working with publishers, um, they won't let you put things in that you want to put in, and things that you don't agree with. They're like, well, this is the way they edited it, and that's the way it's going to be. And I had my fill of that, and I remember when that book came out, I was so excited for that Celtic cross Afghan, and, they photographed it on the wrong side, and I said, excuse me, hello, that's the wrong side. Can you please have them flip it over and try again?" So they paid again for the photographer to go out and shoot that all over again on the wrong side again. Why my editor couldn't tell that it was the wrong side is beyond my imagination. So I have that has taught me to become a little more of a control freak where it comes to publications. Um, the actual layout of some of these self publications that I do may not be as pretty with all the little tiny fancy little prints, but I prefer big print for my 60-plus-year-old eyes anyhow. And I assume that my demographic would rather see readable print instead of fancy little light blue, hard to read print anyway. So that's why I self-publish now. I can put the right side facing of my designs. I can be explicit as to who I am and what I'm doing and how to teach what I'm doing. I can add videos. Couldn't do that through the publishers. They would not allow for that back in the day. So anyway, that sorry, that yeah, that triggered me a little bit. Sorry about that. Um, do I have a picture to show you? Let me see. I do. Ah, yep, there goes one of my self-published books on the floor. This is the book she's talking about, and I want to show you the picture, just in case you don't believe me. I mean, it's a beautifully photographed picture on the wrong side with the back side facing. Can you see that? That's the back side. Okay. But then there's this picture of the texture in the book. Don't you think they would be looking for the texture? Look at that. So, anywho, I just wanted to grind that axe a little bit. So, anyway, but by the grace of God, the book has done well, and it's still in publication, which is beyond me. It's amazing. It's more than 10 years old. That was actually it's 11 years old now. Last year was the 10th anniversary of that book, published in 2014. Yeah. Anyway, well, let me just make sure there's anybody I haven't said hello to. The Coffee Cap Crochets, I want to welcome you to my chat. And thank you for clarifying this. She says, Wanda, you can turn a rectangle into a bolero by turning it into a cocoon cardi. You just make it shorter and voila, it's a bolero. Yeah, I see. I need pictures. I need pictures to understand what you're going for, Wanda, and where you want to go with it. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody's comments. I'm going to go back as I'm eating my lunch and read them. Oh, Crochet Done My Way. I'm so glad that you can be here. They say I have a variety of hooks. If one doesn't work with the yarn, I use a different brand or style. Yes. I will say one thing though, if you're going to start with a particular style hook on a design, stick with that hook throughout until the completion of the design, because if you change the style of hooks midway, I have found that I get different gauge results with the same size hook, but of different styles. So in other words, if I had a boy style hook and a Susan Bates hook, both the same K, same, same millimeter size, it will still yield a different gauge for me because of the shape of the hook is different. So I just say that, stick with whatever hooks you're using, the brand and all. And if you want to switch once you're done with that project and, go on to something else. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I need to stop here and give Hannah a break. Excuse me. And I wanted to read from my little devotional book. This is by Elizabeth Elliot Gren, called Heart of God. It was a these are writings, a compilation of writings that were found after she passed away. She's been with the Lord a number of years now, but I saw a verse that really resonated with me, and I wanted to read just the verse and her words on this. It was really encouraging. And I read this, things like this at the end of the broadcast. Usually, it's not to stir controversy. It's not to make anybody feel bad or anything. It's actually the opposite. It's because I need words of encouragement in the world that we live in. I need it every day. I need to be reminded of what's true because, as we know, just going online for a little bit, it's like drinking from a fire hose of information, and we're just bombarded by all these ideas and information continually. And a lot of it isn't true. So I need to return to my roots. I need to find out, I need to be reminded of what is real and what is true. And that's why I do that as a believer in Jesus. So we start off with Second Chronicles 16:9, and the verse says, "The eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to him." I remember the New American Standard, I believe, would say on that, um, on him whose heart is completely to his. And I just love that version as well. And Elizabeth writes, "Have you ever thought about God's heart? Have you ever thought about how God's heart transcends time and space? It reaches beyond the stars and it reaches into the darkest, smallest corner of every human being. God sees everything. And when God sees you reach out to him, he responds. No ifs, ands, or buts, and no waiting in line for a ticket." The words of Romans 8 make this promise. "For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord." There is no time or place where God's heart is not available to you. Take God at his word and welcome his son into your heart. When you do, God's transcendent love will surround you and transform you now and forever. And this is written, these are the words of a woman who, believe me, have suffered much in this life, but remained faithful. And I just love her life and her testimony. But anyway, I hope that encourages you as much as it does me. It was a great reminder for me this morning to read that. And I just want you to know, I'm so thankful for you again, just for caring for me and for my family through prayer this week and helping us to feel better. Thank you so much. I Again, stay tuned for next week. I'm not sure what my plans are going to be. Um, if the week just turns into chaos from Wednesday on, I have to cancel. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to maybe go live on Thursday if possible. But I will be in touch to let you know. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic week. God bless. Bye bye.